Hi everyone, I'm Elspeth from eMarketingCopywriter.com, and on Friday tried to host a Google Hangout about sales copywriting that gets results. Unfortunately, Google was not happy with us or me, so there were some technical difficulties. After the event, I got a couple of emails asking me for the information, and well, let's just say that I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling your needs. So let's go on, and I'm going to record a video today that is kind of a repeat of the Google Hangout that I did with sales coach Joanna Roach from Knowledge Bridge, and this information is going to be a repeat of everything that she and I discussed. So you'll see all the same great tips and facts and everything else, but it looks like this time I'm actually going to record the information. So that's a big thumbs up right there. Okay, let's get started. And since it's just me, it's going to be a different kind of format, but hopefully you'll still get all the great tips that you wanted on sales copywriting. Here we go. So to get us started, the first question Joanna asked me is, what is a sales page? She said there's a lot of talk about sales pages or squeeze pages, and can I just explain what one is and why someone would use one? And basically, a sales page, it's different than, it goes on your website, or you use a function like Optimize Press that keeps it off your website, but it's a different. So a squeeze page asks your viewer to do one thing. So whereas oftentimes on a website, you want to get them to your blog, you want them to sign up for your email newsletter, you are offering a pop-up that says, join me for my free webinar, a sales page or a squeeze page is only going to focus on allowing your person who's visiting the page to do that one thing with you. That means that they're really vital to getting somebody to just subscribe now, buy now, sign up, whatever it is that you think is important to your business, a sales page accomplishes that for you by only giving them that one option on the page. Question number 2 that Joanna asked me, what are the basic components of great sales copy? There's a few ways to answer this, so I'm going to stick with one that's very simple, and you're going to hear this advised to almost every single writer in the business, and that is, sell the sizzle, not the steak. Or sometimes they'll say, sell the shave, not the razor. And the reason that's a good idea is that you really want to focus on the issue you're trying to solve first. You need to make the buyer go, ooh, I hate that too. And from that, that place where they understand what you're saying, then you're going to tell them how your product or your service is the solution to what that problem is. So, you don't actually know that you need lotion, but I'm going to position great sales copy to kind of tell people, oh, you have dry, itchy skin, or, you just don't look good in a skirt. So what if the solution is lotion, and then I sell lotion? I hope that makes sense when we talk about not selling the razor, but selling the shave. Sell what you can offer people. That's what great sales copy does. Now, great sales copy, on the other hand, translates the not so obvious pain points into an easy to understand brand message that gets the reader to do what you want. So that's really what great sales copy does. It gets the reader to do what you want. And if that's subscribe now, if that's buy now, if it's join my new club, whatever it is your goal is, the copy is good sales copy if it effectively converts the reader from just reading what you have on the page into actually buying from you. So let's see. I don't want to get too technical, but a great sales page does have higher conversion rates than would something that's not functioning at a high level for you. A conversion rate is how many people come to your page, your sales page, versus how many people actually sign up for the product or service that you have to offer. So if 100 people come to my sales page and we'll say that 27 of them sign up, 27% is my conversion rate. Instead of focusing on how many people come to your sales page, which is kind of your your web traffic. Instead of focusing on your web traffic, it's usually best to focus on your conversion rate, because that's telling you how well your page is working once someone gets there in order to grab them. So you can see that those are two different things. Whether you have people coming is your website traffic, and whether you have them converting is your conversion rate. And high conversion rates are a sign of great sales copy. So question number 3 from Joanna: when writing good sales copy, where should be the call to action on the sales page? Is the top, the middle? How often should it be on the page? And I don't always want to answer this, because I don't necessarily have. You need to practice with some of your conversion rates. That's the best answer. So just because I tell you here's some general advice, that's a good rule of thumb to get you started. Depending on what you're selling, you may want to play around with the location and how many calls to action you have. So in reference to sales pages, think about how you read a website. The part of a squeeze page that pops up right in front of your face and takes up the entire screen is called above the fold. For low-priced products and or freebies, the best thing to do is to keep the call to action above the fold. So make sure that that's appearing right away in front of your reader, for one simple reason. You aren't asking them to pay you for anything, so you don't actually have to convert them. It should be a no-brainer that if they clicked your link, they are coming to your sales page in order to subscribe to your list or get your free product. So again, if a product is very low priced or free, put one call to action button above the fold. So tell them to grab it now, tell them to enjoy my subscription, whatever you want to do, but get it right above the fold, right in front of their face, so it's fast and easy for them to convert when they come to your sales page. Number 2, if you're using the page to explain your service, or maybe you want them to come to your event, you want them to do something that's a higher price point. Maybe they're buying a $1,000 coaching program. If that is the case, your call to action is going to appear 2 or 3 times on the page. And this means that you probably want to tell them what you're offering for a few paragraphs first, and then you're going to put it into your sales copy to offer them the product or service that you want them to buy. So tell them who you are, tell them what you do, pull them onto the page with some great sales questions that are selling, the shave, not the razor. So what's their pain? What are they frustrated with? And how does that kind of tie into what you're going to solve as the problem? So towards the middle of your page, every few paragraphs, you're going to ask them, are you ready to buy now? And then once they get to the end, you're going to say, are you ready to buy now? And those are, some general rules of thumb for where to put your call to action on the page. Question number 4. What are some great calls to action statements that help increase conversion rates on a sales page? And I love this question, because you want to make sure that you focus on someone who's going to get, not what you want them to do. So this is very, very simple, because it's just in the words we use. In other words, research has shown time and time again that if we're giving to the reader, it will convert higher than if we're asking them to do something for us. So use words on your buttons that say get, grab, receive, etc., because those words are going to convert higher than if we're saying take my quiz, buy my product, okay? So make sure you use get, grab, receive. Anything that you're giving to the reader should be the focus of your call to action button. Now, there is another research study that was conducted where they're really looking at adding more value in the call to action button. So if you want to get really savvy, you don't just need to say what you'll grab my free resource now. You can add to that, and you can use an ampersand, and it would sound like find a doctor and get your consult. These 2 words together as, one button will convert higher for you than if you're just say, using one, which would be get your consult. So let's talk about a few other things that help your conversion rate. And besides just words, Let's test out a few features. So for example, if you're getting 100 people to your page, but you find that they are not converting, and your conversion rates are, say, less than 3 to 5%, then there are a few things you'll want to play around with to try to increase those conversion rates. And those are quite simply the location of the button. Where are you putting your call to action? Does it make sense? Is it easy to click? There are the color of the button to consider. So you might want to play around. If you have a red button, try turning it blue. Try turning it green. They found that green buttons test the highest. So it's a really good idea to try to play with colors of your buttons to see which one might appeal to the audience that you're selling to. The other thing is, we just talked about this, the words on the button. So you're going to say grab your membership, grab this. The other thing research found is that you can actually say my. Instead of saying grab your free copy, you can say grab my free subscription. And using that word my, they found actually increased your conversion rate. So while it's very silly, if it makes sense for you, put the word my into your call to action button, and let's see if that can help you increase those conversions. Finally, something that's difficult for everyone, and even copywriters take a long time to develop this craft, headlines. Does your sales page start with a question that grabs the reader? Are you starting with the issue, the pain point, the thing that really gets to the bottom of what's going to help your person do better? So these headlines are just something that maybe asks a question. Are you frustrated with the high cost of health insurance? Are you, annoyed by how many contractors do a terrible job on your home? Always start with something that's a pain point and that makes people nod their head and go, yeah, I understand that. And then pull them in with a few more questions and just keep asking them, what's their pain? And then you'll pull them in and talk to them about your product or service. Question number 5. What are your thoughts on using an exit pop-up on a sales landing page? I have a few thoughts about pop-ups, because to me, this is kind of like saying to someone after a mediocre first date, hey, do you want to go home with me? I also hate sites like Vistaprint that make you click through multiple screens of items they're trying to sell you after you make your purchase. So in other words, I've already purchased my business cards, I'm ready to check out now, and instead of letting me check out now, they try to sell me stickers, address labels, pictures of myself on little cards, whatever it is, tchotchkes. I don't need any of them. So I'm not going to buy them, and even though Vista keeps trying to sell them, I'm just annoyed by the time I finally get to checkout. So don't do pop-ups. Don't use pop-ups that are going to annoy your reader. Another pet peeve of mine is when you can't find the X. So you're looking around the page and you can't figure out how to make the pop-up close. So you're clicking all over the place and just getting mad at it. Don't do that to your visitors to your website. So here's the other thing. We're talking about exit pop-ups here, not just pop-ups in general. But exit pop-ups should only be used if you have a high bounce rate of people visiting your page and not converting. So we'll say you got 100 people to your page, only 3 of them signed up, and you tried changing the button color, you tried making stronger sales copy, nothing worked. You were scratching your head and you were going, why are they putting my item in a cart but not buying my item? There is a company called Rooster that came up with something called the exit pop-up. And this I really, really like, because the exit pop-up is only for when people are not buying. It uses heat mapping to say, they got the item in the cart, I thought they wanted to, but they're not going to do it. They're not converting into a buyer today. Let me grab them anyway. So you've already lost the sale. In other words, with this type of exit pop-up, you have nothing to lose. So it's just going to pop up for you, and that's something that you should consider. But again, only do that if you're losing a lot of sales at the buy now part, because that wasn't business you had anyway. So you're not annoying people who would have been your customers. You're simply grabbing more people that can become your customers. So that's what an exit pop-up should be used for. And finally, this is one of my favorite questions. What are the key things someone should look for when hiring a sales and marketing copywriter? This was number 6 from Joanna. And personally, I think you can tell from listening to me blather on that I geek out for research and statistics on business. I always want to try new things. So good copywriters are not just writers. If you're going to hire a copywriter, you are not hiring someone just to put words on your page. You can, but they are not going to give you a great value for what they do. What you're truly looking for is someone who understands your big picture marketing goals. They are not just going to make your page look and sound pretty, but they are going to understand that your brand messaging has to carry through, not just on maybe a squeeze page, but onto your brand messaging on social media. They have to understand that you're looking for high conversions. They will have to understand what you're selling, how you're selling it, and how those people go into your sales funnels. A good copywriter is all about the sales and the revenue generation of your business, not about making you sound good. So the differentiation once you get to a mid-level or senior level copywriter is simply that. They are going to talk to you a lot about how you use your website, where you can move buttons, things they learned in their research, which social media posts convert the highest to get you clicks back to your website, the button, what the button should say, why they think it should say what it does, using an ampersand to join together ideas, little things that just really help you get way more awareness to your brand, publicity, information that's going to help you. So I don't know. It's very, when you're hiring a copywriter, you have to think about that. So that is it. That's the final question. This should sum up our Google Hangout in an independent video. I'm Elspeth from eMarketingCopywriter.com. I'm going to switch back over to my iMovie here. And thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for your patience. Sorry if you had any technical difficulties. If you want to learn more about me, check me out at eMarketingCopywriter.com. eMarketingCopywriter.com. I'm Elspeth, and thank you so much for your support on the Sales Copywriting Seminar.